as we approach our lovely 220, the 5D collective, let's chit chat about the idea of loving yourself first, because it's always confused. I noticed online, at least, that there are the good therapists and they're informing people of why it's confusing for some people to love themselves first. For example, Terry Real has talked about it, and Patrick Tiahan. You can look them both up. They have YouTube channels, and that's where I got to see their videos where they say, it's confusing. And I'm like, not really. So let's chit chat about that one. The 5D individual is a person who has the access and ability and desire to use their left and right mode. So that means that if thoughts come up, which is the left chit chatter, thank you, Daniel Siegel, for informing me of the brain. I get to learn how the brain is, and the mind is not the brain. And I'm not going to get into that one right now, but there's great courses on Mindsight Institute for anybody who wants to know. And my words are coming out, as always, very beautiful when Akashic intelligence, see, human, spiritual, and spirituality elements. So again, we bring them together. The 4D, 3D do not, and the ones who like to call people like myself pseudoscience, woo-woo, it's cool. But let's keep chit-chatting, okay? So if you have healthy self-worth, this is where it is cool. Only as a teenager, you will have been sensitive. That's because, again, loving yourself first, easy peasy when you're held with equanimity. So my lovely divine feminine, this body right here, doesn't have trauma charges or memory lingering in a way that creates the shame defectiveness cycle, which impedes, thank you again, Daniel Siegel, impedes the bilateral integration. So there are a lot of people who have impaired bilateral integration. What happens when you don't have access to your right mode is you don't have access to things that 4D mystics think they do have access to, but they don't. But we're going to leave that one to the side for our longer episodes because I only have 10 minutes. So first of all, Maya Angelou. I do not trust people, as she says, who don't love themselves and tell me I love you. There is an African saying, which is, be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt. Thank you. Yes, I will only offer you a shirt if I have one for myself, because, this society in today's age, unless you're in a nudist colony, which you can be, but unless you're there, we're here to wear clothes. Now, we don't have to go all the way to the ancient silverback stories of, where we covered ourselves for shame and all that, but we can understand another book, if anyone's interested. This one's really great. The social construct of reality construction. I love learning about how everything is pretty much made up. The treatise and the sociology of knowledge, yes, are a social construction of reality. So the fact that we want to wear clothes, do we want to? No, some people actually don't, but they do, unless they're in a nudist colony. So again, let's stay grounded. We're not flat earthers, even though we're mystics, some of us. I'm okay with the flat earthers using their time that way, even though I'd wish they'd use their time to, support the environment, because some people think it's not important. But I think if I have no air, I will die. I'm going to say it's very important to have breathing air, good soil, good water, and it seems that people like to use the word smart. And then again, we're in a spot in 2024, which seems to me, I don't know about smarts, but my political science major in my bachelor's years and my international relations and diplomacy master's made me pretty much aware a lot of things, including this one and a lot of more stuff. So consciousness, it's actually looked into by a lot of academics. They call it the hard problem of consciousness. Now, 5D Mystic giggles at that one inside because, again, Akashic intelligence, pretty awesome. Let's read some Sadhguru. If you learn to use your body like an instrument, it is the most fantastic and powerful instrument on the planet. Yoga is about realizing this. Thank you, Sadhguru. So yoga, and once again, thank you to my good mental health professionals, Daniel Siegel and Stephen Porges right now are who I'm going to use, but Bezel Vanderkolk is included, Peter Levine, Janina Fisher. There's a lot of them that I will forget. All of my lovely courses and all of my professors who are all good therapists, not the bad ones who see you as a pathology, versus telling you, hey, your behavior is not to be pathologized. This is Janina Fisher. It is to be understood. Your first 3 years of life are implicit memory and all this body stuff that comes up. If you're right mode and you don't have access to your left mode and you have impaired bilateral integration, guess what we got? We got 4D, 3D collective. We got cognitive dissonance, structural dissociation. Oh, I see it plenty. And we got people making up excuses for why they do think they love themselves first, but they have no shirt on and they're actually naked. And you'll be able to immediately tell the minute that you say, I promise to love you forever and ever and be a friend, or whatever words you want to use, relationship. And then, oh, let me slap you in the back. And whether it's envy and jealousy, and by the way, envy is part of our species origins, because when you get cut out of our lovely circle of life, you'd be out with the lions, bears, and tigers. But I go way too back for people to say, no, it has to be demonic spirits. Maria, it has to be. No. Actually, no. Patrick McNamara, thank you for your research, your kindness, and hopefully you can get the word out. There's no demons that possess, but I know the people who won't believe you, because believe me, when I share with people who are looking me in the eyes, what you're saying is dangerous. I'm a mystic too. And I'm like, no, I'm a 5D mystic, not a 4D one. I have access to this because I don't have what would need, thank you, Terrio and Patrick Tiahan, a good therapist, so that you can actually integrate, or a Daniel Siegel, or whoever it is that is a good therapist that says you're not a pathology. Let me help you understand your divine feminine. It's a 4D love talking about the divine feminine and divine masculine in their saga tale of the twin flame journey, which doesn't exist, saga. The tale, that's for the 4D collective to keep doing. Okay, so when you do learn that yoga helps to work your, my lovely regular listeners, I get to quiz them every now and then. Okay, so Stephen Porges shares, and he's the polyvagal theory doctor who's still working on his theory because he needs to build quantitative data. If you're actually a person who knows about data, then you know it's going to take a long time for certain things to build, and you don't use some random person who says 1% or 100%. You're like, I wonder, was it a 200 people sample? I got a study too. You know how many percentages I have? It was 210 or 200 and something. I'm like, that's a small sample compared to the 8 billion. So really, when somebody mentions a study, we don't really know anything. Oh, and I did find out recently, thank you, Sabine, that apparently there's doctored scientific studies because of AI, which can't wait for regulation to start doing something about that one, but we still have them. So let's use our left and right mode. Okay, so loving oneself first, it actually is easy. Yoga works your brain structure and is a ventral vagal nervous system portfolio of toning exercises. The toning exercises is Stephen Porges. The brain structure and areas that it works, that I got it from Daniel Siegel in my interpersonal neurobiology course. And let's read about loving yourself first, what it means for those of us who have secure attachment. Let me first read my lovely Bruce B. Wilmer. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself to the depth of your being. Nourish the talents your spirit is freeing. Know in your heart when the going gets slow that your faith in yourself will continue to grow. Don't forfeit ambition when others may doubt. It's your life to live. You must live it throughout. Learn from your errors. Don't dwell in the past. Never withdraw from a world that is vast. Believe in yourself. Find the best that is you. Let your spirit prevail. Steer a course that is true. That's something that I carry with me always. Well, sometimes I forget it, but I've had it since I was like 15. I'm 44 now. Imagine, that's a long time, huh? Not that long. Okay, so loving yourself first means integration of the brain, secure attachment, healthy self-worth. These are very important words to notice. I'm attachment and trauma informed. That's why I'm using them. It's your human mammalian birthright to live a life with a restorative embodied self. That's also loving yourself first. So you have use of your divine masculine and divine feminine. The divine masculine is the mind. I like to call the feminine the right mode of your brain, and then the masculine is the left. But divine is not because of divinity. It's just that they play a different role. You hear about it on the episodes, the longer ones. So you're able to lead an inner and outer mental, emotional, and physical well-being, expanding of consciousness life. Therefore, you love yourself first, which means you love yourself unconditionally with flaws and imperfections, and another, like Pacha of Cusco land. So 5D collective, secure attachment people, we're all Pachas, not Cuscos. And so you can love your entire community, your family, society, the world, and you can, in fact, contribute to it because every day you wake up actively feeling energized because you have access to your ventral vagal nervous system and your integrated brain, which is your inner and outer well-being completely. And then you get to support humanity and each other by having functional adult loving relationships, which is what we talk about. So you don't have to actually have any Romeo and Juliet torture. That's not part of the divine feminine or masculine journey. In fact, it's not part of anybody's journey. If you can love yourself first, then you can build functional adult relationships, and that's what's beautiful. You can teach other people how to be here too because you share with them healthy self-worth words, and that is important because Cuscos don't do let's bring each other together. In fact, Cuscos do the divide, the very things that well, 3D, 4D collective. They've got room for that. So tune in for 5D